Bitcoin is about to go higher. You can see this bullish cross on the monthly scale. It just happened. It happened before. It almost looks like it's a halving event, right? So again, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but we have formed that bullish cross on the monthly scale. And what happens when we form that bullish cross? I mean, just look at it. You could see what happens afterwards, right? So we have started that path. We're on our way. But you know what? It's not Uptober anymore. It's Pumpvember, which I just coined that. I don't think it's actually Pumpvember, but who cares? I'm going to say it's Pumpvember because that's where we are. So are we going to hit 40,000 next? We're very close to 35,000. Can't seem to pass it yet and hold. But once we do, 37,000 will be around the corner. And is 40,000 really that far-fetched? No. Can we hit 40,000 by the end of this month? And maybe 45, 50,000 by the end of December. All these scenarios are in the cards because we have so much going on right now, including the number of holders, the HODL Waves, which just shows how many people that's been holding for 10 plus years, 7 to 10 years, 5 to 7 years, 3 to 5 years, 2 to 3 years, 1 to 2 years. Basically, you add it all up, we are at all-time high around 80%. 80% of all circulating Bitcoin is held right now. There's so little that is actually floating around being traded. And even the little portion that is being traded, that's dwindling. We see exchange reserves go down. Like literally, like every single week, we just see the chart just keeps going like this. So imagine the big boys like BlackRock, they will be competing for the 20% that exists. Everything else is already bought and hodled. That's why we have this HODL wave. So can Bitcoin go up to 40,000 in Pumpvember? Well, if the holders have anything to do with it, then yes, because the holders will continue to hodl, continue to DCA, continue to basically buy more of the current supply that's available, and there's just not a whole lot. I am having a kickoff party in Vegas, December 14th. So if you guys want to come out and meet me and other influencers that are in the IFC, this is the spot to go. And not only that, Crowded Combat is going to be there. Their fighters are going to be there. I'm going to invite others in this space, other influencers, other projects. If you've been to one of my network parties before, it's going to be like that, but even bigger this time around. I have 3 different tickets. If you want to participate, you want to join, please do so. Use the code 25 off. You'll get $25 off. And for people that's been asking for a new NFT, if you go with the VIP program or ticket, you will get airdropped an exclusive I Am George NFT. That will be included. Make sure you check it out if you are interested. This is in Vegas. Remember, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. And you get to check out all the fighters, all the other influencers, myself, and all the major projects will be there. It's going to be a good party, a good time. So check it out. What else is there? Of course, Spot Bitcoin ETF. Still a lot of enthusiasm about it, right? There's a big date that I revealed yesterday, but today people found out that Invesco, which also is coming out with a Bitcoin Spot ETF, their symbol has listed on a DTCC site. BTCO, right? So basically all the spot Bitcoin ETFs, all of their symbols have been listed already. They're getting ready. They know. They've been working with SEC. They've been amending their application, which means they've gotten feedback already. It's looking good. It's looking real good. And I hinted this yesterday. I'm going to hint it again. There is a closed door meeting tomorrow by the SEC for resolution of litigation claims and institutional and settlement of administrative proceedings. So what does that mean? A lot of people think this means they're going to resolve this grayscale trust to ETF conversion. Basically, the court said you can't deny them with your past excuses. You have to come up with new excuses, and if you can't, you got to let them do it. And they have a limited amount of time to act. If they don't act, basically Grayscale wins and they can get it. So they're probably going to decide tomorrow, are we going to let Grayscale do this or not? And if we're not going to, we better come up with some good excuses that Grayscale can't sue us for and and overturn. So there's a good chance that tomorrow could be the day. And it's not just me. So many others have predicted. A lot of these big Wall Street analysts have predicted that Bitcoin can get a spot Bitcoin ETF approval before the end of the year. Not beginning of next year, not before the halving event. That there's a real good chance it's going to get approved in November or December. But if it happens in November, that name, Pumpvember, will come to life, I guess. Will come into existence because we'll definitely see some massive pumps that come afterwards, right? So tomorrow is a big day. Today is actually a big day because of the FOMC meeting, although I don't think anything big will come out. Unless Powell actually turns dovish and the whole market starts roaring upwards, unless that happens, right? But I think today is a big nothing burger from the Fed. But tomorrow will be huge. And someone mentioned about XRP. XRP and Ripple are also meeting with, guess who, the SEC on November 9th. That's next week. And that lawsuit may be settled. So you're talking about a lot of big things happening in November. Huge dates, huge events that may be pumping us upwards to new heights. I take that back. It can't be new heights. It's not like we're going for all-time high. But it will lead us to the promised land, closer to the promised land. Let's just put it that way, right? So we can see a lot more recovery, a lot more gains coming up this month. And we have just started. It's just a matter of time. So if you look at the correlation between Bitcoin and S&P 500, it has gone to zero now. 0% correlation. We had many years of correlation. You could see from 2020 on, there was like a 40, 50, 60% correlation where Bitcoin moved roughly in the same direction as S&P 500. S&P 500 goes up, Bitcoin goes up, goes down, and goes down. But in 2023, over this last, I don't know, it's just October, but probably a little bit before, starting from August, September, October, we started seeing that decoupling. And now, according to this, there's 0% correlation. Zero. So that's because we have this flight to quality. A lot of people are paying attention and not happy about what's going on with inflation, with printing, with debt, with everything else that's going on. I think that's the reason. And plus, people are not oblivious to the fact that institutions are jumping into the space and about to pump Bitcoin in a big way. So in Uptober, we had the highest monthly close in 18 months, going all the way back to May of 2022. So just like all previous cycles, we do this. We form a bottom and we start recovering. And by the time we get to the halving event, usually it's around like the 78.6% Fibonacci level. And that's right around mid 40s to 50s at this point. So we are trending upwards exactly like clockwork. Even if you discount the institutions that are trying to FOMO in and you discount the flight to quality because of macro conditions, Bitcoin is still just moving according to plan. We may just be moving a little bit quicker than planned, but nevertheless, we are still moving according to plan.